Lame Truth here, the Codfather himself, bringing you another video, and do I have some next level pettiness to show you guys today? So, this has been making the rounds the past few days, and I should get this out of the way first, I guess, but BlackCell sold pretty well, despite the player numbers dropping exponentially. And a lot of people were surprised by this. I was not. I was actually expecting this because there's been this downtrend of players, but kind of like uptrend of MTX for a while. That's been the trend. I don't expect the trend to change no matter how many players they lose. It is interesting that BlackCell is like one of the top selling things on Steam when they've lost 25% of their player base in the past like 45 days because of all their bullshit. So they're definitely losing players more rapidly than ever. But it seems to not matter. I think the people still playing Call of Duty have this just insane sunk cost fallacy where they're like, well, I've played this shitty game for like 6 months. I may as well buy BlackCell. I honest to God think that's it. Like, they've already sunk so much time and money into it. It's literally a sunk cost fallacy, and you can look up the definition of that verbatim to see that's exactly what it is for the most part. Some people are just 60-year-old dads playing Warzone, so whatever, they're going to buy the Battle Pass. Some people only play Warzone, so they can part with the $30. It's ridiculous, but, you know, they could do that. So I'm not really here to talk about that, but what I am here to talk about is the pettiness from Call of Duty, Activision, Blizzard, etc., etc. Guys, this is actually, like, here's the thing, man. It seems like every week there's some shitty fucking move these clowns are doing. And at a certain point, I mean, at a certain point, I think any level-headed person would stop playing this franchise. I think at a certain point, any level-headed content creator wouldn't deal with these guys at all. Like, I think, and I'm going to get this out of the way first because this is the most egregious thing, but there's also some really, really petty stuff beyond this. But the main, like, controversy this video is CharlieIntel. You know, I use CharlieIntel and Modern Warzone all the time in my videos. I kind of cross-promote with them. Like, they give me the COD news. I show you guys the COD news. They're the one that's reporting it, you know? And I've had disagreements with both of these gentlemen, but, like, we've worked it out. You know, like, if they've said something I don't really get or it seems like it's paid off, like, I'll bring it up and I'll point it out. Usually they'll clarify, and then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Or, you know, like, something like that will happen because we're adults. That's what adults do. If you have a disagreement, you talk it out, you fix it for the most part. Or maybe you just don't like each other and you block each other. That's fine, too. This is a bit different, though. This is a one-sided sort of... This is almost like a firing. Look at this, okay? So, this is CharlieIntel's private Twitter, and he says, spoke on this on the podcast, but for clarification and transparency, I was not invited to recent Call of Duty events because of being critical of the game and the studio. No hard feelings. We move forward and continue the work to deliver the best COD news on CharlieIntel. And we got some people chiming in on the matter. We got Doug from Modern Warzone who says, still think this is bullshit. And yes, it is. I stuck up for Charlie as well on my personal Twitter. COD Intel says, pathetic move by Infinity Ward and shows how they simply can't deal with critical feedback. MW2OG says, that is absolutely wild. You are a stalwart fan page, the biggest and most long-standing fan page, and have always been respectful and professional. The minute you slightly speak out and they do this, sigh. This is what I'm talking about, and I'm about to get, I might yell a little bit, so volume warning here, but this is something that I'm really passionate about. CSGO, one of the biggest games on Steam, the biggest game on Steam, one of the biggest shooters, FPSs, most influential FPSs in the world. CSGO 2 is coming out. This all stemmed from the community making a mod of Half-Life back in the day. Imagine if back in the day, Valve shut down, just cease and desisted this mod of Half-Life. We would not have CSGO. We would not have the biggest FPS on Steam. We would not have CSGO 2 coming out. We wouldn't have people doing YouTube videos. We wouldn't have any of this shit. We wouldn't have this lightning in a bottle that we got. by silencing people, by forcing people to play the newest game. You can't have them play modded clients or whatever. But by shutting down these clients, by treating the community like shit, you are snuffing out motherfucking creativity. You know why? Because you're not fucking talented. You can keep milking these morons still playing the game if you want. You can keep getting your $30 from 60-year-old dads sitting in front of their 90-inch TVs on their 120-inch sofa. I don't know how that exactly factors in. The point is, the point is, you can keep doing all this, right? But eventually, the player base leaving and the microtransactions going up, one of those things is going to clash. And I'm putting my money on the player base leaving, bringing down the whole ship. If you want to go the way of Guitar Hero, if you want to go the way even of Overwatch, which they managed to ruin with one sequel, they managed to ruin it. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies that they milked Guitar Hero into the fucking ground, and now it's no longer there. You can keep doing this if you want. Activision, Call of Duty, Blizzard, whatever. Whoever's in charge. I'm just saying, like, all 3,000 devs and 3,000 other sexual harassing employees that demean women in the workplace and stuff like that. All of you motherfuckers, all right? You keep doing this, it's going to catch up to you eventually. It may not be now. It may not be in 6 months' time when the new Call of Duty comes out even. But, like, you cannot keep doing this. You cannot keep doing this. I get that the average person is pretty dumb. I think even they have their limits. And I think at a certain point, I mean, everything's about trends now, you know, jumping on trends and kind of going with the crowd and whatnot. Kind of a hive mind mentality, especially nowadays with social media. I mean, eventually, it's going to get to the point where if you're even playing or posting Call of Duty, you may start getting bullied. You know, I mean, seriously. We got people out there, like virtue signaler people out there that are already doing that to an extent. It may get worse. And like, if people publicly say, like, I bought BlackCell, I've seen people already getting kind of bullied for that on Twitter and stuff like that. It sucks. I don't want anyone really to get bullied, but at a certain point, you might just have to be like, wow, what a fucking loser. What are you doing with your $30, you idiot? You know, I said this in the last video and people chimed in on it. I said, like, give me $30. I'll draw you some pictures and write you a handwritten note that says, you're an idiot. Thanks for the $30. That would probably have more value and actual enjoyment than BlackCell will give you. And I'm not even kidding there. Now, I'm actually not going to do that because I'm lazy. I get $30 times, like, I don't know, 1,000 people is a lot of money. But I'm probably too lazy to do that, so sorry, I can't do that. Plus, honestly, if you're asking for that anyway, what I'm writing out, it's not true. You're not an idiot. You're a smart person. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, no. Don't give me $30. Keep your money. Go buy yourself a few Little Caesars pizzas and 6-pack of beer on me. All right. Anyway, let's get to the next little bit of news here. So what's the next petty thing? What's the next big petty thing? This might not seem that bad, but just you wait, all right? So the TimTheTatMan and the Nickmercs bundles. They've been removed, however the skins still exist in the game. If you bought it already, you can use it. Jordy2D on Twitter says, TimTheTatMan's operator skin initially had a fall risk bracelet, but after today's Season 4 update, it's been removed. Does anyone have an explanation why this may be? I checked the replies. Nobody really had any explanation other than Infinity Ward. Somebody at Infinity Ward, Activision, whatever, is being incredibly petty. Just taking away like a funny Tim-the-Tatman quirk with his skin. You know, I get that like it's an inside joke. Somebody just took it away. There's literally no reason to do it other than that. Some people are saying it's a bug. Come on, guys. It's not a bug. There's no way. You can't take away like one piece of the texture, the skin. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a bug. That's definitely intentional. But it gets worse, all right? It honest to God gets worse. This is like grade school shit, dude. So someone else says this. They also added a grunt sound. Whenever you click on Nickmercs operator, they had to add that in themselves. And Jordy2D says, interesting. And you might be saying like, what? Well, I got video proof here. You can hear it. It's so loud and deafening. It's like they're shitting on the player base that bought their bundle by deafening them with some weird disgruntled Tim Allen grunt. Like, is this Home Improvement? Like, what the hell's going on? Is anybody gonna get that reference? Am I showing my age again? Whatever, man. Tim the Toolman Taylor, come on. Anyway, guys, what is this? Like, what? Seriously, what is going on with all of this? I can't keep up. I cannot keep up with how shitty they're actually being. And look, man. I've been on this train for the past 4 years, and I've had people actually like actively dislike me just because I've been speaking out about Call of Duty. I don't talk to them, you know, I don't interact with them, and they'll actively like come at me, but it's because I'm critical about Call of Duty. I've been critical for the past 4 years. Well, look here. I'm not saying you should apologize to me, but look where not being critical has gotten us. Guys, look, I'm standing with CharlieIntel here, and I think if you are a content creator that gets brought out to these events and you've ever used CharlieIntel for your videos or your Call of Duty news sources, you should 100% just not go. I understand some people have families and children to feed, mouths to feed, whatnot. I get that. So, you know, it's not as easy just to say, hey, don't go and don't report on this stuff. But I will say this, if you don't have to go, if you can afford to take the hit there, just don't go. Tell them to go pound sand. This is just, I don't know, this is not what I want to see in gaming. This is not gaming. I've been gaming for over 30 years. This is not how you treat the community. This is not how you treat the people that buy your skins. God knows, I mean, you're losing players like crazy. Do you really want to lose your pay pigs as well? I would argue that pay pigs are worth more than any player that's just going to quit and not buy anything, you know? Guys, what do you make of all this, man? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? What do we do? I don't know. I want to hear you guys' opinions in the comments below. Rate, comment, and subscribe on this video. Ring that notification bell. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.
Some parting advice?